Well, folks, events in the Persian Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz are like New England weather. If you don't like it, just wait a minute, because a lot has changed since this morning. We woke up to good news that 22 Iranian sailors had been repatriated, and the Iranian vessel seized by the US Navy on April 19th had been brought to Gwadar port in Pakistan. So we woke up to that good news that there were some confidence building measures and de-escalations, and within hours Iran said it had targeted a US naval ship with missiles, and CENTCOM denied it. We all saw that. CENTCOM denied it. And now we have a situation where CENTCOM is saying that yes, Iran opened fire on US warships and commercial vessels today, and the US forces returned fire. Iran's military spokesperson Ibrahim Zulfikar writes, "Tonight, perhaps a new chapter of power will unfold, one of the adversaries have never witnessed before." I'm quoting what Midas Touch is writing. So, Iran said it fired missiles. CENTCOM says no. Now CENTCOM is confirming that yes, in fact, that has happened. What happened yesterday, late afternoon? The Pentagon announced that on the orders of Donald Trump, they're sending 15,000 more Marines to the Gulf, more naval destroyers, all sorts of air support, and basically really ramping up the firepower. Moreover, Iran is confirming that the UAE has been actively involved in attacking Iran and acting, basically, this is me saying it because UAE and Israel are so deeply now involved with each other. The UAE attacks on Iran have been happening during the ceasefire. So basically they're acting as a proxy for Israel. And that is probably how Iran is seeing it. But Iran is saying that they're confirming that the UAE helped with the attack on Karg Island. So Trump is now threatening that Iran will be blown off the face of the earth. Did you hear that? Iran will be blown off the face of this earth. This man has no problem spewing war crime after war crime after war crime. After doubling down on a failed policy of the blockade, after lying to the American public that the blockade of the blockade would collapse Iran, none of that happened. It did not bring Iran to the negotiating table. It did not collapse their economy. It did not make them surrender. It did not make them capitulate. It did not make them cry uncle. It did not stop them from exercising leverage on the Strait of Hormuz. Today, Iran struck the UAE again. They attacked a ship owned by ADNOC, Abu Dhabi National Oil Company. They struck Fujairah, its industrial zone where there was a big fire, and 3 Indian, I'm assuming they were workers, have been injured. They have apparently struck Jebel Ali port in Dubai. And they're basically saying the UAE has been involved in attacking Iran. That the UAE is the 3rd active participant in this war. Donald Trump tried to make it sound like he was trying another tactic, right? Naval escorts of ships stuck in the strait. Literally within minutes, the Navy contradicted him. And officials contradicted him that no, it's only going to be giving guidance. Giving guidance. But Donald Trump is the commander-in-chief. The US Navy can say whatever it wants to. Iran is going to act based on what Donald Trump is saying. And yesterday Iran said, no, you won't. No, you won't. There's going to be no humanitarian mission. We've agreed to nothing. Today they're saying, after killing 3,500 of our citizens, none of this looks like a humanitarian mission. It all looks hostile. And then upon announcing the doubling and tripling of firepower, how is this humanitarian or de-escalatory? So here we are, literally in a shooting war, with Trump announcing that he's going to blow Iran off the face of this earth. Really? A desperate man will do desperate things when he thinks he has nothing to lose, personally. Nothing to lose personally, because his sons continue to invest in companies that have defense contracts. He continues his grift. Nothing in his mind stops him. Nothing and no one. He is not personally affected by any of it. I think Iran is actually considering the restart of hostilities as advantageous to them. That is their calculation. The ceasefire, the stalemate, is not advantageous to them. Ali Vaez says the Iranian calculus is that the time pressure on them is measured in months, whereas for the United States, it is measured in weeks. What else happened today? CNN, Harry Enton, is reporting that Trump's support among Republican-leaning independents, that support has collapsed. In the 2024 election, over 90% of Republican-leaning independents voted for Donald Trump. His approval rating amongst the same cohort is now 53%. That is a collapse. And for Republicans in Congress, they had 83% support. And that is down to 67%. So there's all-out panic right now in the Republican Party, and also Donald Trump's collapsing poll numbers. But like I've been saying, he doesn't care. He looks at this as another 2.5 years of grift, controlling the judiciary, getting as many concessions from the MAGA-aligned Supreme Court, continuing to threaten his opponents, continuing to browbeat the country. That is how he is looking at it. But most importantly, he's looking at this as personal gain, profitability for the Trump family. That will continue no matter if Iran gets blown off the face of this earth, if oil goes to 140, $10 a gallon at the pump, doesn't matter. We've been saying for a while, he just gets more and more dangerous. And he is becoming more dangerous. Iran is actually lighting the fire under him, because they too can see what America can bear and what America cannot bear. They can also see that China and Russia are firmly against what America has done. They're openly saying they regret not having aligned themselves more closely with China and Russia. But now, they see China especially as a real counterweight to America. And so Iran sees no benefit in de-escalation. They see a benefit in escalation, because they know the US does not have the tolerance level that they have. As unfortunate and deadly and awful this is going to be, but that seems to be the calculus, and they're calculating that they want to finish the job when it comes to the UAE. They've already collapsed the economy of Dubai. Dubai does not produce oil. Remember, Dubai depends on becoming the playground for the rich and famous, for property, all the Tony apartments and buildings, and becoming a hub of business. Dubai does not produce oil. It only produces a playground. Now the foreigners are gone. Hotels are empty. Flights are almost empty. Iran is seeing a clear target in Abu Dhabi and its ability to produce and ability to sell its oil. They're seeing this as an opportunity to do a lot of damage to oil production for the UAE. I think Donald Trump has just given them that opportunity. But this is such confused garbage coming out of the US, where the US Navy is telling the ships in the strait, don't cross the Strait of Hormuz. There are too many mines. It's hazardous. We don't know where the mines are. Stick close to the Omani coast and call the Omanis. Don't call us. Scott Bessent, after imposing sanctions on Chinese refineries, is now begging the Chinese to help them open the strait. CENTCOM, after denying that their ship was attacked, now they're saying their ship was attacked. Donald Trump is saying he's going to blow Iran off the face of the earth. This is what the world is seeing. Utter chaos. Brent crude has shot through the roof. Last I checked, it was at 119. It's probably much higher at this point. The market is deeply unhappy. Absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. And once again, let us focus on not the intent to commit war crimes, but the war crime of saying you're going to blow Iran off the face of this earth. The sad thing is, does the world even take that seriously? Does the world take anything Donald Trump says seriously? I don't know. But how dangerous. Hour to hour. We don't know if the world is going to go into a complete apocalyptic situation. We don't know. But here we are. May 4th afternoon, we don't know what comes next.